Hello, I'm George Anderson. Today I'm going to show you 5 simple things that you can do to improve how good you are at doing the plank. This has got nothing to do with getting fitter and stronger, it's just simply how you approach it that's going to make your plank, grow. So, sorry, I'm not going to redo this again, this is like the 4th take. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about the plank shuffle. That's the first one. So if you're in a plank position, it's a static hold, and I want you to hold this position here, but you'll find that the forces are being transmitted through your body in a very narrow channel. Whereas if you move your forearms slightly to the side, or then you move your feet slightly to the side, or bring them in a little bit closer, or if you just rock slightly to one side and then the other, or just forward and backwards a fraction, what that does is it just unlocks your body. It just frees things up so more of the muscles in your body can be called into action and help out in this plank position. So you're just spreading the load. Your plank position is exactly the same. You're not changing that. You're not compromising on technique, but you're just changing your foot position or your forearm position very, very slightly just to spread the load. That's the first one. The second thing is your breathing. Now when you breathe, instead of taking weedy little breaths, I want you to really charge the core up. And this is going to do 2 things. So to charge the core, first of all, as you breathe in deep, as your lungs fill with air and the diaphragm pushes down, it creates this intra-abdominal pressure through the core. So it actually increases your core stability. So you're going to actually get a little bit of extra bonus strength out of it by charging the core like that. The second thing, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the plank's quite a boring exercise. 4 or 5 minutes or any period of time, even 30 seconds to a minute is quite tedious. And just trying to hold it there, time for some reason seems to slow down. So to speed things up a little bit, to give yourself a bit of a punctuation, then use your breaths. And you probably find that 60 seconds is about the equivalent to 20 or 30 breaths. So a deep breath in, and a breath out, breath in, breath out. And if you start counting your breaths, instead of keep on looking at the watch, you'll find time seems to tick away a lot quicker. And also it reminds you to do exactly that, to draw in and to charge up your abdominals. The third thing is to create a lighter lift. Now what do I mean by that? Well, in this plank position, you've been shuffling around, you're moving around, you're breathing strongly, push down through the forearms and push down through the toes. And you might think that you're naturally doing that anyway, but you're not, you're just holding yourself in position. If you imagine pushing down through the toes and the forearms, and imagine lifting the body up as well, you'll find that all of a sudden, instead of holding it through here, your body's being lifted, you're pushing down through the toes as well, and that's going to take a little bit of the work into the legs, and you'll find that you become lighter. And that's going to help when you're doing the plank, right? You want to be as light as possible. So push down through all 4 points of contact and lift yourself up and become lighter, and that is going to make your plank hold easier. Number 4 is if you do need to take a drop down, then take a complete rest. If you're doing the 5-minute max plank accumulator from the Plankathon, plankathon.com, if you haven't already signed yourself up for that 14-day plank-based workout delivered directly to your inbox with videos just like this showing you how to progress and regress the exercises. Sorry, I went into the wrong mode there. Then the 5-minute max plank accumulator it's not about how long you can hold your plank for in one stretch. It's much more about how long you can accumulate in this 5-minute period. So you might only be able to do 30 seconds to a minute. That's fine in the accumulator because you take a rest and you go again. You take another rest and you go again. But the key is that when you're taking that rest, you're completely resting. Because if you're down here in the plank position and you can't hold it any longer, if you just drop to the knees or you even just drop down to here, your tummy's on the ground, you might think you're resting. Your shoulders are still working. Take a complete rest. If you're going to rest, shake it out, loosen it off, and then go back into it again. Because that way you're going to be properly recovered by the time you go back, and you're going to actually find that you can do more than if you were to hold yourself in this position here. That's probably the most classic one there. And you see my shoulders are bunching up. They're still working, they're still under tension. And as soon as I go back into plank, they haven't rested at all. And so they're going to start feeling it. They're not going to have recovered at all. The 5th and final little tip that I've got for you today to help you improve your plank ability is to think about the way time is set up. So if you're going for 5 minutes, then think about breaking that down into a 90-second chunk at the start, 2 minutes in the middle, and then another 90-second chunk at the end. And this works on so many different levels. But basically what's happening here is you're saying to yourself, okay, I've got 90 seconds at the start. I'm just going to get through those 90 seconds. You're going from 0 to planking. That's an infinite increase in how much your core is having to work. So just get through that. Just kind of bed down, settle into this 90 second, into the plankathon here. Get yourself going for the first 90 seconds. Once those 90 seconds are up, then you go give yourself 2 minutes. That's your consolidation phase. 2 minutes, just do as much as you can. Just nail that, 2 minutes. That's going to take you through. By the time you get to the end of that 2 minutes, you're well past the halfway mark. And actually, you've only got 90 seconds left to go. Now, you've already done 90 seconds at the beginning, so you know you can do it. So take that again and do another 90 seconds, only this time it's counting down because you're getting closer and closer to the 5-minute mark. If you're doing longer than that, then you just break it down in a different way. But the key is to break time down so you're not looking in front of you as a one really long period of time stretching out in front of you, because mentally, then you're going to find that you reach your mental quit point before you reach your physical quit point. Break it down, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and then final 90 seconds, and you'll find that in itself makes a big difference to how you approach the plank and how good you are at the plank. It's a great core exercise. It's not the be-all and end-all by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a good starting point for most people to improve their core stability. I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you haven't checked out the plankathon yet, then go to plankathon.com. There's 14 workouts, all completed in under 6 minutes. That's the key with the plankathon. They're all really short, punchy workouts. You can guarantee that you'll get the time to do that in a day. So if you want to strengthen the core up, you want to add some length to your plank, then head over to plankathon.com and I'll see you over there. Bye for now.